tell you it's even more effed up. But.
Oh, no, boy. It sways my decision. I'm debating if I want to go, like, low.
Welcome to the Bear Facts on Guns, where host Derek Baer and his guests are locked and loaded to educate, inspire, and yes, answer your questions about firearms. Tonight, it was the gun's fault. He did not pull the trigger, apparently. Ready, aim, Derek.
Oh, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for the little short hiatus here with the holidays and Thanksgiving.
Oh, you had to get through a little sickness too, huh? You had a little,
I did, dude.
A little scratchy throat.
I did.
Yeah.
I had, it started a sinus infection and then
Herpes.
Yeah, herpes. That's what happens. Kiki, I haven't told you yet. She's on here. That's exactly what the doctor said.
Hey, how are you, Jess?
Kiki.
How are you, Tony? Welcome.
Yeah, welcome into the show, guys. Yeah, I did, and it was horrible, right? So like, I just got back from New York. I just spent with my Wicked Dramatic.
Oh yeah, that music's beautiful.
Wicked, it's amazing. It's I don't even want to change it.
Yeah.
So I got back from my grandfather's 80th birthday party.
Yeah.
That was great. And then as soon as I get back home, like 2 days after, I was like, man, I can't. Like my nose is clogged up. I'm like, okay, we got some allergy stuff going on here. It happens every year. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to hold off on this. I'm going to take some vitamin C. I'm going to take some, herbal stuff to try to remedy it. Because I'm not a big pill person.
Yeah.
I just don't like taking that stuff as long as I can.
Right.
I got to a certain point, and I was like, I can't breathe at night. And Kiki, God bless her, dude, because she had to deal with a freight train of a snoring in the middle of the night. She woke me up at 3 o'clock. She karate chopped me. What the? Karate chopped me. Okay.
She is.
Yeah.
You're lucky she didn't push the trigger,
dude. Exactly. Well, it might have been the gun's fault. Might have been Gun's fault.
Let me just put you out of my misery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it might be. So she was pretty upset with me, but okay, yeah, it was hell. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I agree with you. So I finally went to the doctor. I had to get a COVID test. COVID test came back negative, which was fine. I put on some antibiotics, and then the next thing popped up. Right. I'm sitting here, and I wake up in the morning, and she's like, your eyes are really, like, your eye's red. And I was like, well, what do you mean it's red? She's like, it looks like you have pink eye. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me right now?
What are you, in high school?
I know. I was like, I'm a clean person, dude. I ended up getting pink eye. So I had to go back to the doctor, and I'm like, dude, listen, I'm a clean person. She's like, listen, I know it's a big thing. Like, everyone says it's poop. It's not. Your sinuses are so backed up that it's going into your eye, and that's it.
Listen, you were causing so much hell with Kiki. She dropped it.
She farted on my face. Exactly. I wondered what that smell was in the middle of the night. So, all in all, Thanksgiving was amazing. We spent a week in New York again with my family. I had dinner with my dad for the first time in 12 years. Awesome. So really excited about that. I could see all my family. Kiki, she just admitted it. She farted. I knew it wasn't me. I knew I didn't do that. So I'm just thankful I was able to be home. It was a great drive home. The traffic was great, especially for the holiday weekend driving.
Yeah.
It was actually a wonderful trip, and I am done with vacations for the next, no joke, 6 months. I am pooped.
At least until 2022.
So. Let me put you 2022. It's next month. So that's awesome. What you gonna say?
Let me put you out of my misery. Another T-shirt waiting to happen.
Oh, that's a good one. All right, we're calling the rights on that one right off the bat. So. We have an exciting news on the show right now.
Hey.
We have the opportunity to be able to take phone calls now. So we have a phone number that I'm going to share with everyone. And anyone listening on the show, driving, sitting at home watching, whatever, you can join on the show. You can call in. The phone number is 815-496-0169. 69. You like that? I picked the number actually too, which is really cool.
Well, because a 6 and a 9 kind of look like, the part where the trigger is on a gun.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, I guess just we're gonna dive into him. Honestly, I don't. I don't know.
All right, so we're gonna.
There's a huge.
You're talking about the star from Hollywood who is on the Rust scene, and a gun incidentally discharged, killing one, injuring another.
Correct. One bullet went through two people, killed one, and then injured another.
Still, nothing has gone to court, from my understanding.
Zero.
The gentleman you're talking about just did an interview with Stephanopoulos.
Airs tonight.
Oh, it airs tonight.
So that's what I mean. Part of it, okay. We're gonna swing back to this obviously next week, but the first part of it we're going to be talking about because there's been a teaser, right?
He looks very 10.
Explain more.
10. He just looks.
10.
It doesn't look like he's been hiding in the house, worried about this.
So, and you sent me a perfect TikTok today about it because it was just. I don't want to say funny, but it was
spot on.
It was spot on for exactly what we're going to be part of what we're going to be talking about because we have 3 big shootings, right? Yeah. That happened recently. Yeah. So we have Kyle Rittenhouse that we're going to touch back on because I want to go back to him and follow up and loop around and kind of close this down for right now. We have Mr. Baldwin and the Rush shooting, and now we have this Oxford shooting as well. So Oxford might have to wait till next week.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
We'll see how it goes today and who calls in. So if you guys have comments and stuff like that, please jump in. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? Welcome in. So the teaser, right, talked about, number one, he feels sorry for what he did. He emotionally cries, which is a little bit...
You thought Rittenhouse was bad.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, he broke down pretty quick. I'm going to call bullshit on that. My bullshit mean I need a bullshit button. We need to get a bullshit button.
That's right.
That's my next thing. I'm going to call bullshit on that. One, because now he waited this long to get his story right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pause for a second there. Story correct. And corroborated story, by the way, because somebody else came forward and said, hey, you know what? Now that you mention it, he had his index finger promptly horizontal, elongated with the gun down the barrel. And I'm sitting here watching this going, who talks like that? Nobody. No, Kiki, I'm not going to say.
Who are we talking about again?
Yes, Alec Baldwin.
Oh,
look at I've been practicing all fucking day. Just FYI. Yeah. I'm not going to do it a second time because I'm going to mess it up. So it took all day to do that out. My palms are sweating.
And Alec, if you're out there listening, which I know you are because that's who we are, 216 go ahead. Call in, 815-496-0169. We'd love to chat with you.
I just want to know your side of the story, not like you did an exclusive interview before that's going to release in an hour here. So
because we talk about gun safety here. This is important.
And that's what it is. And George Clooney said it perfectly. Any gun he handles gets checked by him every single time.
Yeah.
Personally. He knows the safety around it. If he doesn't know gun safety and wasn't trained on that, he should not be handling a weapon. And plain and simple. That's it.
Hey, maybe he did, but the gun shot itself, baby.
So that's where it's crazy, right? The craziest thing. He says, it's clear as day, I didn't pull the trigger. First off, you don't pull the trigger, you push the trigger. Dick. Second off, how'd the gun go off? Oh, it just magically went off? Do you know what kind of weapon it was? It was a Colt Action 45 single action.
Like from the 1800s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's 1871 is what the date of that thing was built, but not that gun in particular. For those of you that don't know what a single action means, okay? A single action, and I'm going to actually bring Kiki's Ruger Wrangler on the show next week because I'm going to break this down a little bit more in detail in person. You can see it. And I'm going to bring in her other revolver, which is a Smith & Wesson 38 Special snub nose, because I want to show the differences of a single action and a double action.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. When a single action is used, you have to, on this particular firearm, to load a firearm, you have to half cock it. Okay, so the hammer on the back is a hammer, like an old Western gun. You have to half cock it, and you fold over the window that's next to the barrel. What did she just say?
No, you may not.
No, you may not. Well, I mean, you could just come on the show and bring them with you.
Oh,
that's easier too.
Yeah.
Okay, you just gave me the denial right away. You think a freight train, wait till I start farting on command so I can make that happen. Exactly. Oh, I don't know how you got pink eye. I don't know what happened. Good thing is we got meds at home for you right away.
That's right.
So after you load a single action, you can't see if it's a what kind of round is in there.
Yeah.
Okay, because the barrel does not, the chamber does not come out of the actual gun itself. So you have to spin it, and you can only spin it at half cock. Now to fire action.
Yeah, keep going. We'll get to Shayna.
I know. You're trying to say I'm distracted here?
Yeah.
Herpes? What's going on, dude? I got it. I'm just trying to make sure I pay attention to my audience. I care about my people.
I'll take care of you. And of course, you can always call in to 815-496-0169.
Yes. You don't have to mention your name, whatever. You can call and just say, fuck you. It's fine. I'm cool with that. Whatever. It's fine.
That's right.
So you have to pull that hammer back all the way before it can be fired. So my question to him right off the bat, did you pull the hammer back? If that gun was not supposed to be on set at that time and did not call for a gun at all, there is absolutely no reason why a single action firearm would have gone off without him physically cocking it or somebody else cocking it before giving it to him.
Yeah.
So you can't just walk up with bullets in the chambers, right? In the revolver itself. You have to pull the hammer back. You can't just walk up and pull the trigger. It won't do anything. The hammer will not come back and go back. You have to cock it back fully, and then you have to pull the trigger. Now, there might be a malfunction, but the malfunction has to happen after the hammer's back.
Right.
So single action versus double action on there as well. So,
and that, again, not being a gun guy,
sure.
Perhaps that was that hammer was cocked all the way back. I don't know,
sure.
Right? I just stick it in my holster or strap my holster on. I don't know. I don't know how he was carrying it.
Yep.
Right. But they're legitimately that could be plausible.
Perfect.
Right.
Still his fault.
Absolutely. All right. So. Shayna says, after dealing with people that held extreme anti-Kyle positions based on how they felt, I will wait for evidence. Not saying I disagree at the front of this, but it's not good to build a story without hearing the facts. LMO. In my opinion, I think that's I think it's capital I.
That's okay.
In my opinion, right? No, and that's true, and I'm 100% with you, and I think what Derek is saying is that, hey, this is how this gun operates.
Yeah.
So, okay, you may have put that in there, and it's good. Now here's the other thing that goes untold. Is I don't know the relationship he had with people on the set. He was probably a big producer. If it's a low-budget film, is he taking low-budget films now?
I mean,
right?
this was a lower-budget film, from what I understand. But at the same time, it still had an entire safety crew, 4 guns. But they left the set 2 hours before this happened.
So here's what I know of Mr. Baldwin. Mm-hmm. Mr. Baldwin is a funny guy. He's been on situation comedies.
Sure.
He has been a reoccurring guest on Saturday Night Live. The funny part of late night TV. He does the Match Game. He hosts that, which they're drinking and having a good time, and a lot of innuendos out there, and so could it possibly have been that he had a real good relationship with everybody and was goofing around like hey woohoo and drew it and pop, and perhaps it did malfunction or it was all the way back and
they have a term for that by the way.
Well, I don't know.
Involuntary manslaughter.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
He didn't. So, apart factually, right? So, if Shayna wants to talk about facts, the facts of the matter is that he handled a firearm without following proper safety precautions. Right. There's live rounds on set that should have never been there in general, and we've touched base on this a couple of weeks ago. Is the fact that gun bullets, live ammunition on a movie set should never exist. People get fired for that right away. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that takes out. Again, we talk about Swiss cheese metal. It takes out one of the Swiss cheese. Right. The end of the day, the fault lies with the person holding the firearm. Now, if that person trusts the person next to them and that person is devious and says, hey, I'm going to put Russian roulette and I'm going to add one live fire round in here and see what happens, and now that person is untrustworthy, they both need to be held accountable for that situation. At the end of the day, my biggest problem here is that for those of you that don't know, he is not a gun enthusiast at all. He's actually an anti-gunner.
Right? An anti-gunner.
He's an anti-gunner. So when we deal with anti-gunners like that, you would think that he would listen and try to follow the right protocol. If I was an anti-gunner and just in my mindset, I would be scared of a firearm because I've never been taught how to use one properly.
So let me help people out.
Yeah.
I've been held at gunpoint, point blank.
Yep.
Right. For many, many months, I wouldn't even let my kids point a squirt gun at me.
Sure.
Right. And I'm not an anti-gunner.
Yep.
I'm just saying that if you're in that position where you are, you don't even want to touch them.
Nope.
You know, I would be like, hey, can I just go pew pew and you can CGI a gun in there?
Perfect. Yep.
Right.
Yep. At the end of the day, what's the safest?
Right.
Right.
Can you give me a foam gun?
And they do. And foam guns look extremely realistic.
Oh, sure. The technology,
and you would never be able to. Plus, again, CGI is exactly. Right. So we have so many things on here that kind of flame it. My biggest problem I have with this, there's no charges being talked about at all.
That's your biggest. That's your biggest.
Other than she's dead, obviously. So
no. My biggest problem is thus.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't see what's happening right
now,
because he's doing a
exclusive
interview.
Yes.
All right. Everything that he says now goes, listen, didn't you hear me tell him? This is all for court, baby.
Oh,
this is a grandstand
to
try to have. Now he's out there.
Show.
Now it's now I've got to say mistrial because everybody now knows about it, right? I can't draw a jury on this because everybody watches Stephanopoulos or tunes in to 21.6 The Net here at Bear Facts on Guns. Got a question or a comment on this? Go ahead, give a call 815-496-0169.
We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, you're right. It is a show. It's a big show.
This is just gross.
It's a big show. At the end of the day, I fault the law enforcement in the community for not holding that person accountable immediately. I also think this bullshit when it comes to the trigger not being pulled is in there too. The reason I say that, Kent, wouldn't you say that would be the first thing he would say? I didn't even have my hand on the trigger. How did it go off?
Right.
What? I don't know what I did wrong. Help me. What happened? Nothing about that. And we're talking, 2 months later?
Yeah, this has been a while.
2 months. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, the day he comes out with it, all of a sudden somebody else corroborates it right away. Immediately.
Shayna, absolutely. I swear there's an old Perry Mason episode with the same scenario. I don't remember the outcome. Was he set up? Wouldn't he be a reluctant advocate for gun safety? I wasn't allowed to point any gun like toy toward any living thing. Actors aren't that slick, I don't think. Yeah, right. I mean, that's a good point.
And at the end of the day, I agree with you. I was raised with never pointing guns at anybody, whether they're toys or not. I was raised with gun safety in mind. You don't touch things that you don't know how things operate. It's like jumping in a Ferrari and trying to drive it for the first time after coming out of a minivan. You probably don't even know how to turn the damn thing on, let alone trying to do anything else with it, professionally as well. So more to come with him, more to come with the story. Obviously, I'm going to watch the episode tonight because I'd really like to hear what he has to say. The shitty part about this dude that sucks for me, I don't want to fuel the fire with giving them ratings because he's getting paid to sit there on an exclusive interview. So how shitty is that, right?
Even more. Right.
Okay. Yeah. It kind of burns. My question is: does he take that money and give it back to the family, and that's what he's raising for, or is he just taking it because he lost his movie deal because now he can't finish the movie Rust and not make any money, and he's out of all this money as well, so he has to recoup some kind of time and energy for it as well. Yeah. So again, a lot of questions that come into my mind when it comes down to what's going to happen, what's going to end up with it, and as well. So that's it. Let's see here. So Kyle Rittenhouse. So Shayna brought up Kyle Rittenhouse, so we can talk about him next. Big news today. Facebook reversed the policy on Kyle's Facebook and Instagram accounts. My question for everyone out there is: if you get thrown in jail for something that you did not do, like physically did not do, weren't even there, you're just thrown in jail for the wrong reason, right? You're wrong place, wrong time. You said something you shouldn't. Whatever the question is. Yeah. And they shut down all your platforms, and you're not able to get the support that you need. Let's say GoFundMe. They turn off your GoFundMe. They turned off the GoFundMe for Kyle. They turned it back on after he got his acquittal. How does that make you feel? I mean, honestly, if you're in the scariest moment of your life, you're fighting for your life, you're on trial.
Yeah.
Isn't it innocent until proven guilty?
Used to be.
Okay.
It used to be.
But it still is, right? So
yeah.
The court system needs to prove you're guilty. But Facebook can say, hey, we're not going to let you use our platform to be able to get support on money. Now, the question is, you have to find a pro bono lawyer. The kid's 17 years old, right? And I don't think his parents came from any side of money or, millions of dollars stashed away and whatnot. You now need to find a lawyer that says, hey, I can fight this case and win this. And if I win, we're going to do X, Y, and Z and make money back to be able to do that kind of stuff, to pay for what they need to.
Yeah.
So my big question here is should Facebook or any other platform not be allowed to turn off that kind of monetary compensation to support?
Well, they can do whatever they want. It's a private company.
I agree, but as society, how do we feel? How do you feel about it?
Well,
here's really my question.
Well,
I mean, we. Yeah,
let me just let me lay it out here for you.
Lay it out.
Is and for all you people out there on Facebook, thank you for tuning in.
True story. Isn't it funny? I'm trying.
All right.
I'm not trying to talk shit about Facebook, but I mean,
Right.
I'm just a real question. If I were to get arrested on the way home
So
today,
here's what
whatever.
here's what I would ask.
Yeah.
Here's what I would ask you folks. Get the hell off Facebook. Listen. Listen. We allow this goofy social media to drive too much of our of our life and our crap, and we allow it too much, right?
Yep.
People go to this social media platform to get their news and education.
Horrible.
Are you kidding me? Now here on 2169 is a very good thing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's a caveat there, right?
Sure.
But the people who operate...
But Facebook doesn't run
2169.
Well, it doesn't run the majority of the listeners either.
Correct.
At all.
No.
These
Correct.
are for people that actually want to just go on and watch the show
hang out.
live
Yeah, a little
and
bit.
see us in person. I could look like a
See
bum.
your good beard game going on?
Yeah, I thank you. Nice. Thank you, Slim. Thank you, Slim.
That's it. And but here and that in lies the problem, right?
Yeah.
And I will say this. Just a great outpouring for our good friend Uncle Pete and his family and the situation they're in. And if it wasn't for social media,
Yep.
then it wouldn't have been that good.
Correct.
Right? And so I can be hypocritical here.
Sure.
Because and I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a private company. And I've got the right to refuse
Sure.
Anybody that I want.
Yeah.
At
It's
this
publicly traded, though.
Yeah.
So when does it become public versus private? When does it become you need to have a little bit of a board? And they do have people that go on there and that kind of. They have a board of directors, obviously, and it is a public company, but it's a private corporation, and it's a CEO that's in charge of it. And it's been interesting this week, right?
Yeah.
Twitter CEO stepped down. CEO of Microsoft stepped down. CEO.
Keep going.
There's a laundry list, right?
Twitter.
Oh, I did say Twitter.
Harley Davidson.
Harley Davidson CEO stepped down. Keep
Victoria's
going.
Secret.
Victoria's Secret's CEO stepped down. Something.
There's a major list, and
These are not small companies.
No, and interesting that Ghislaine is in court.
Court.
Right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
Whoop.
oh man.
Whoops. Sorry.
Can I see that black book again, please,
That's
real
right.
quick? Oh, okay. Oh, all these guys.
No,
are
I said
listed.
book.
Oh, book. Yes. It's scary to think about, man.
Yeah.
And when you have that many CEOs drop off the planet like that, it's something that's happening. Something
All in the same week.
in the same week, yeah. And nothing major stock market changes, no other news other than some of this, stuff that's going out, but not anything like financial other than the economy is a little something challenging right now.
Right.
In America, for those listeners outside of the country here. America's going through a pretty big, I want to call it a inflation moment.
Yeah. Oh, it's just transitory. No.
Yeah. So it is what it is. We're not going to jump into politics as really what I don't want to do with this. But
yeah,
back to Kyle and back to what I'm trying to get at here is if it's innocent till proven guilty, and what happened with Kyle is that he became acquitted from these charges.
Yeah.
All the money that was there for the GoFundMe is gone. I don't know what happened to it. I'm assuming that he gets that back at one point, but he loses a ton of supporters that actually believed in him.
Yeah.
And here's the worst part about it. So I think of what's the guy's name? Carol Baskins. Tiger King. Tiger King, right?
Yeah,
Tiger King, the second season, I just watched it. I just finished it. And he's in jail. He's got... why, sorry. I love watching that stuff, dude.
Horrible.
It's so... it's horrible. It is so horrible. That's why you watch it. It's drama. That's what it is.
I don't watch it. I've never seen it.
It's okay. So he's in jail and has a GoFundMe that was left open. He got convicted of hiring a hitman to kill Kara Beskins. He got literally put in jail for it. Okay?
Yeah.
So why does he have a GoFundMe, but Kyle doesn't have a GoFundMe? Explain that to me. He's got supporters that can send him money all the time.
Kyle doesn't have a Netflix series yet.
I mean, yet. He's going after CNN. Big money. He's going after some big companies. What do you think is going to happen with that?
I believe that Kyle's not doing anything. I think that there's a lot of attorneys that are going after big money.
Sounds great to me. But using Kyle's name for this, for defamation of character, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You think they'll pay out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? He's definitely going to make some coin on this.
Oh, no. He'll make coin. They won't allow it to get to court.
Oh, no.
They'll give him hush money.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we'll settle out of court. We don't want to be drugged through court.
The second thing about Kyle that I want to touch on, who's heard anything about him in the past 2 weeks?
Yeah.
His name has been nothing about Wisconsin has been talked about.
Yeah.
No riots. Nothing. Yeah. And maybe there was, or there was something.
No, there wasn't.
Okay. Yeah. So all this flack, all this media, by the way, guys, it's making money for the media companies. There's your hidden answer. Okay?
Bad news sells.
Bad news sells.
Right. So here's the deal.
Yeah.
The deal is with the Kyle Rittenhouse is that it was an open and shut case, self-defense. The district attorney did not do a good job prosecuting. It was
embarrassing to watch.
Very embarrassing. But there were, and again, Kyle did not kill somebody of a different color than he is.
Correct.
And again, I would say that the kid, it's a strange thing, but he was pretty well trained on that gun to be in the position that he is, to be even just think about pulling the trigger, right? So, anyway, neither here nor there. However, our good friends down with the Aubrey case, right, the Abdul Aubrey case down in Georgia, where, again, an open and shut case. Very, very, it was not self-defense. They tried to show that as self-defense. But that was three white men killing a black gentleman in the middle of the day.
Yep. And that was an interesting case.
But
right?
again, that was very quiet.
Here's the fucked up part about this, right? Yeah. So number one, I agree with how I learned so much about that case that literally was not talked about.
Yeah.
The images that we saw was this guy in the wrong position, the right camera angle.
Correct.
And made it seem like this black individual was at fault, right?
Yeah.
And the guy that was following him filming even got put away too.
Yeah.
Which is honestly
good.
It literally restored faith in me for some judicial stuff because those three need to go to jail. Those three sought out and did shit that they weren't supposed to do. You can agree with me or not. That's my personal opinion on it. I watched the entire case. I watched everything about it. And you're right. Nothing fucking talked about.
Quiet. In and out. We tried to rile everybody up with the Rittenhouse thing.
Yep.
And then when this came out in favor of, and again, both cases open and shut. Right? There's absolutely well defended cases.
Yep.
They were just one was prosecuted down there in Georgia, the other was defended.
Yep.
But the interesting thing is, again, as we go back to, let's take a look at either one of these cases. They could have just simply said, I didn't pull the trigger.
Oh, easily.
I didn't. I don't know what happened. I didn't.
I didn't pull the trigger. It just went off.
I didn't pull it.
I didn't pull the trigger.
And
I can't. I'm like,
right
I was
now,
fucking
for those of you
floored.
just tuning in, of course, you can reach us at 815-496-0169. Feel free to call, be part of the show, give us your thoughts. Here's the deal: is we've had a couple of firearms here in studio.
Yep.
We even tried to berate one.
Oh yeah, we talked shit to my AR
and it
for
didn't go off at all.
Straight.
It didn't go off at all.
I even kept bullets near it, and it didn't load itself.
Didn't load. Didn't fire itself.
It didn't even shoot me when I got home.
Didn't assault me.
No, it didn't assault me either. It was probably just a air assault rifle.
No, we say that tongue in cheek, right? But here's what I think we all have to listen to and understand is we all have to try to figure out and say, okie dokie. Listen, guns just don't fire themselves.
Misfires happen. They do.
Yeah.
But misfires happen when improper equipment is maintained, manufacturing is messed up, which is literally the smallest percentage you can ever imagine for a manufacturer malfunction. It's usually in 99.99999 and 50 million nines. It is user error. That's it. It is not following safety protocols, because even if it does misfire, Kent, there should be no human in front of you to kill because you're following safety protocol to not point a weapon at it.
And again, I'll go back to what Shayna said earlier. We weren't there, so we really don't know the whole story yet.
Sure.
Right? And again, I can see him joking around and pew pew and whoop. Right?
But does that mean that he gets away with it?
Well, no, and that's see the thing that irritates me is the same thing that irritated a lot of people about Kyle Rittenhouse. Why isn't he sitting in jail right now?
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't anyone sitting in jail right now?
So Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't sitting in jail because he wasn't posing a threat. He gave himself over. He handed his firearms over.
And so did Alec.
Okay, so I'm not saying Alex needs to be in jail. I'm saying that he needs to be charged and proven his guilty through a court of law, not through a CNN interview or a Fox News interview or whatever freaking radio station or whatever news broadcasting station decides to pay him enough money to make it happen. Right. At the end of the day, there needs to be accountability, right? That's my big term for 2022. Yeah. Accountability. Where's the accountability lie? And I don't want to talk about politics again, but where is the accountability lie for certain things that are happening in our country right now? And I have a news story that just broke today that'll blow your freaking mind. It's insane what's happening across the world right now and how things are playing out. Who's accountable for things?
It is a bad pandemic. Yeah.
It is a bad pandemic. And I'll talk about that later in the show here. So I just want to make, Kyle Rittenhouse, and I just pulled up a picture of this because I saved this information. The guys that he killed, the two guys that he killed, convicted felon, sex offender, Joseph Rosenbaum, convicted felon, sex offender, level 3 offender, and he failure to maintain register status, okay? Yeah. So this dude is a convicted felon, went to jail, is a sex offender in the level 3. This dude drove literally 51 miles down to the riots, where Kyle drove 21 miles. The media skewed every single person's mind when it comes down to, Kyle drove over state lines with a legal firearm. He did all these traveling. Why was he even there? When the guy that he killed and that ambushed him drove 51 miles versus 21. So who drove further? Well, Rosenbaum drove further. Anthony Hubbard, convicted felon, assault and battery, domestic abuse, false imprisonment, illegal weapon. Gage, the guy that he shot.
So you're saying all these people deserve?
These aren't good people, and I absolutely am not saying people should be deserved.
So people can't change.
Nope, not at all. The media puts Kyle Rittenhouse on this nasty term, but they don't talk about the people that were there causing the riots, causing the problem, and now proven that they.
Listen, the media did that. The media, and of course, 216 The Net is part of the media.
Different type of media,
right? But it's a money game. It has absolutely nothing to do. But who's going to pay me the most? We can go through. I mean, there was a great piece on Pfizer.
Oh, yeah.
How long has Pfizer been? Hey, the 6 o'clock news brought to you by Pfizer.
Dude, I was going to talk about
the
that
sports
today,
brought
too.
to you by Pfizer.
Yes.
Brought to you by Pfizer. Brought to you, right? So these 24 hours news stations, they have to pay huge amounts of money for their personalities. They get ladies and gentlemen out of college that don't even have a degree in being in the news, right? And a media degree or what, I don't know what the hell they call it, right? Whatever, journalists. They're not.
Did you get a degree for
right?
this?
What they are is you look good on camera.
Sure.
Can you read a teleprompter?
That's why we're on radio.
Right. That's right. And so it's all a money grab. So what sells?
Of course.
Paul Harvey. You can Google Paul Harvey, and Paul Harvey has a talk about bad news and why bad news makes money.
Of course.
Right? Because if there's bad news, I'm going to tune in to see what's happening.
Has nobody watched Anchorman?
Right.
Anchorman 2. The
Right.
whole thing. Are you going to news broadcast somebody getting chased in a car chase? And all you're going to talk about is make up a whole bunch of stuff of who's driving this car, where it's coming from, how it's happening, what your interpretation. I think this man has a weapon. Yeah, I heard he had a weapon. What? Where did you hear that at all?
Hey,
what? And it's a funny movie, right? But it's a really good thing. Hey, Mom, how are you? It's a funny thing, but at the same time, it's so true in how things happen. So when you listen to the media, and people live off of the news, they literally do. And Shayna, I want to go back to that one comment up there too, real quick, Ken, about accountability that she said right there. Yeah. So, and I agree with you, Shayna, 100%. Accountability, not retribution, though. Accountability is a big conversation that needs to be had. You're talking about Pfizer's and vaccines, and I'm just going to say it real quick. Germany announced today that they are restricting any unvaccinated person to travel at all.
Yeah, okay.
It's an experimental vaccine.
What's that?
What's the accountability? If I die from the vaccine tomorrow, and I'm not trying to go into this vaccine conversation, I'm just, accountability is a big
You're not trying, you just jumped
Well,
in
I
there.
just jumped in for a second. I just want to jump in and jump back out. Okay, I'm just going to dabble in.
You're like an attorney. Strike that from the record.
Can
What?
we
I heard
rebuttal
that.
that? Rebuttal? They didn't hear nothing. I didn't pull the trigger, Ken.
Right,
I didn't pull the trigger. Rewind the tape. It's been deleted.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
Here's all I'm saying.
Go ahead.
I don't even travel outside America, so I don't give a shit.
But no, they will not.
Keep them nasty German germs over there.
They will not let them go to non-essential businesses at all. They can go to the grocery store or the gas station.
So I've got a good friend.
Locked
Who spent a couple weeks in Italy recently. And she said, hey, they've got these vaccine passports, and they're little green cards over there in Europe. And if you're outside in Italy and you don't have a mask on, you will be arrested. And if you want to get into anything, on a public train, on a public anything, or go into a building, you have to show that you're vaccinated. So I said, well, how'd that make you feel? She goes, didn't make me feel bad. Right? So it is over in Europe. It is. That's just the way it is. So that's not new over there.
Well, it's new for Germany to lock it down, and it just came across, part of my stuff as well. No, Art, I'm not bringing you on to talk about vaccine, buddy. Yeah. Welcome in, buddy.
Yeah, that's great.
Are you back in town, or are you still waiting to get on a plane right now? Is my question to you, real quick. Herpes. So, accountability again is what I'm trying to say with this. So, it's an experimental vaccine. If I die from this vaccine, who can I sue to get money back for this kind of stuff? Is my number one question with it. Are you all tied up over there, man? Dude, I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's underneath your front. Yeah, our producer needs to learn the term wireless headphones.
I'm using Uncle Pete's headphones, and the wire is like 8 feet long.
Oh my God!
I'm getting all tangled up.
He's still in the airport. My God, dude, I'm sorry, man. Not cool. So Shayna popped a question in here too. Are gun advertisings forbidden on TV, or have I never paid attention? Oh, that's a good one. You don't
see them.
I don't think I've seen.
You don't even see BB gun ones anymore.
No, those BB gun ones. Well,
you just don't.
No.
What you see is Nerf guns. You'll see Nerf guns out there.
Yeah.
Nerf blasters, water blasters.
Yeah.
But there's no. Yeah, it must be. It has to be something. Where
I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of movies, but I don't watch TV.
Yeah,
I don't like watching TV because there's a lot of commercials and it's garbage.
But I would say they probably are banned. I don't see any out there.
It's an interesting fact. I'm curious. I'm going to do some research on that and why. I'm going to actually have to look up that and figure out why that is. I'm assuming there's some reason because they're just most radio or news stations are anti-gunners, so that's just it. Art. Flight was delayed 4 hours. Great American Airlines. So it's actually Chicago's fault. I don't think it's American.
Yeah, and TSA. Thanks for tuning in. 216 Net. Go ahead and strip.
We're
shirt.
just ripping apart everyone.
Strip shirts. That big tall guy. Would you?
He's the 7 foot tall Ukrainian guy. Right. Yeah, smiling in the corner. Yeah, watch out for him.
Cavity search that man.
Oh man.
Find the guy with the biggest hands too. It'll be good.
He's huge. He's 6'7", and we're not. I'll have you come on the show and talk about guns, but I'm not having you come on the show and talk about vaccines.
So as we take a look at it now again, here's the interesting thing again, and I'm not trying to be a conspiracy guy, but the people who know me know that I like to poke the bear, not you necessarily.
Yeah, me too.
But here's the thing now. We saw Kyle Rittenhouse, and there wasn't a big flare up there.
Nothing.
Right, and a lot of people are like, all right, justice served, good, yeah. Hey, he's free.
Sure.
Then we have the Aubrey case down in Georgia, and that goes radio silent. Bomb.
Completely.
That 3 guys, we knew that was going to happen, but justice was served again.
Sure.
And his Aubrey's mom even said that now he can rest in peace. Justice was served.
Beautiful.
And again, no flare-ups.
Nope.
No fights, no nothing. Now there's a new mass shooting that we haven't heard about mass shootings, right? Mm-hmm. Now, most of the world has become numb to Chicago gun. This weekend, 22 more shot. 20. Hey, this weekend, yesterday, right? So everybody's just kind of gone, okay, well, that's Chicago. Yeehaw. Right? Again, no flare-ups. It's not causing any disturbance. There's not a rip in the fabric.
Nope.
Oh, we're not getting the movement that we want to on this, and the next thing you know, another mass shooting.
Oxford shooting.
Yeah.
Those of you that know for those of you that are listening and don't know, there was a mass shooting in Oxford, Michigan. With a 15-year-old in a school.
Just outside of Detroit.
This is an interesting case already. They met. There's been concerns. The dad bought a firearm.
Yeah.
And
it's true, Kiki. Yeah.
It is very true. Kiki says that sad it doesn't even faze us at all anymore. No. It is sad. We've come numb to it, and you're right with that, Kent. Unfortunately, I still obviously carry every day and care about it and pay attention to everything I can, and that's it. So this kid, his dad bought a Sig Sauer on Black Friday in Michigan. I don't know Michigan laws, so anybody in Michigan, chime in to tell me how that works. You can't go buy a firearm in Illinois and get it the same day. It's a 3-day waiting period. You can't buy bullets and a gun at the same time. There's some things with that as well. This kid brandished this firearm on his Instagram page a couple days before the event. He met with the school, brought his parents in 2 hours before the shooting actually happened. And as I was doing research into this,
chokes you right up.
I know. I found this really cool thing the other day. It was a choke, like a cough button. You have a button to turn off the mic and you cough. And it's cool. I just saw. I didn't know it existed. I need to talk to Vic about it. It's so cool.
We don't have one.
No, we don't have one.
Low budget film.
So the scary thing about this, when I was doing my research, I was watching stuff, and there's a kid that had his phone on in one of the classrooms, and this kid knocked on the door and identified himself as a sheriff, and that it was all clear and it was safe to come out. So the kids kind of asked some questions.
Hey, it's all clear.
Yeah, and
it's a 15-year-old kid, by the way.
And he sounded, actually, he did do a deeper voice, because you can hear him ask for it. I watched the video on it. And I'm going to throw a caveat on this, because I have to do this all the time, because it's just the world we live in right now. But the kids asked a question like, we don't really trust you. Like, can you identify yourself better? He's like, come on, bro. And then literally the kid's like, bro, red flag, we're leaving. And they scurried out the back door and ran in and met the sheriff's department, the actual officer, and ran in and was safe in that classroom. That takes a sick kind of person to act like a cop to go kill more people. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, the school failed, right?
Yeah.
Big time. And there needs to be accountability held for whoever is in charge of that conversation, because it would have taken 2 seconds to check this kid's Instagram to see that he's brandishing a firearm. There was kids in the school that were saying on video, well, he actually did it. Which means that this was talked about at some point, shape, or form, which then shame on the kids for not saying anything. Number, 4 here. Dude, was it 6 kids? 4 kids?
Yeah.
No, 6 kids total, right? I don't have that number. Oh, 6 people.
6.
Nope, that was a different one.
So you've got Hannah St. Juliana.
Thank you.
Madison Baldwin, Justin Schilling, and Tate Meyer.
So,
right? That's 4.
Yeah,
And 7 others were injured. Yeah, 7 others were injured.
my heart goes to those families.
Absolutely.
Number one, those kids don't have a life. Those families will be forever.
Right, but again, we listen to things like, let me see what it says here. Hold on.
We'll just take a short commercial break. Brought to you by Pfizer. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Oh, so here it is. So this is out here.
I hope you
Pfizer.
replay that.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I heard it. The deadly gunfire in Oxford and Oakland County, about 30 miles north of Detroit, added to the growing list of shootings on school grounds in the United States this year.
Do you remember of any other shootings?
I just can't. That's why I throw this. And people leave there, oh my God, this is a serious issue. Maybe there are 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Or is it that they're so commonplace now that we don't even report them anymore because nobody's killed? I don't know.
Yeah, so there's a theory
Right.
when it comes down to school shootings, is that psychologically a teenager wants recognition for basically his 15 minutes of fame, so we shouldn't talk about it, right?
Yeah.
But the families then are like, hey, I just lost my daughter or son. We need to talk about this, and we need to figure out how to fix this. So you get this back and forth, and I agree with both of them, right? So I really do, because there is 2 sides to that coin. Here's the caveat to the whole story when it comes down to stuff. This video I saw could be 100% fucking fake.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
And it's so sad how many times Kiki's mom, okay, the other day sent me a video and was like, look at how cool this is. I can't even remember what it is. Kiki, maybe you jump in and say what it was. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at her going, this is fake. You know that, right? And she's like, what? No, it's right here. It's video evidence. You guys have no fucking clue how good CGI is.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
How good. Do you know that colleges have courses to see whose YouTube video becomes the most famous based on a CGI? The hawk with the kid. Do you remember that one? There's a hawk that's on a golf course, and there's a child on the green, and this hawk swoops down and grabs this kid and lifts him off. Perfectly done. Very realistic. The shadows were even right. 100% fake.
Yeah.
100% CGI. Sorry, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Maybe it was Mom. Mom, I think it was you maybe that was saying something.
Art says the kid was bullied. Yeah, the kid was probably bullied in school. No one did
anything.
And
thank you. So there was no reports, right? And Art, you're 100% right, because that's actually on my notes here. This kid was bullied, and there was no report of this kid being bullied, but everyone knew that this kid was bullied in school. We're failing our kids. It's not safe to be able to do that, and we should trust the school system. But the school system cares more about a vaccine than paying attention to a bullied kid that literally takes 10 seconds to find out that this kid's disturbed. This kid's got problems. We need to help him. We need to give him support that he needs to, and we need to get that firearm with him. I also blame the parents. That Sig Sawyer should have been in a case, a locked case that a 15-year-old kid should not have had access to. How do you not know where your firearm is?
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Let's see what trust the school system.
He's laughing at that.
He's got a good one on there too.
But that's what we've done year after year after year after year. Now, Art, before you came to America back in the 1970s, before you were even probably a twinkle in your parents' eyes,
He still was 7 feet tall.
listen, we used to line up and go into the library and get our vaccines there. That was part of school.
For what vaccine?
You name it. All of them. Polio, mumps,
See, we
measles.
never did that in our school.
Yeah. Well, this is back in the 70s. So, I mean, the school, the public school was that place of safety, right? That's where you go, right? So yeah. But the idea is with this Oxford shooting, again, is number one, how does this kid, to your point, how does this kid get this gun, right? And here's the other thing: this kid will spend the rest of his life in jail, juvie,
deemed a terrorist is what he got
deemed a
terrorist.
terrorist.
Yep.
But here's the other thing that I will say: those parents need to go to court too.
100%.
They have to be liable
100%.
for this. And until the court systems or people start making the parents liable for this, it was your gun, sir.
Yep.
Why was it unlocked?
They
are now.
They are. They're talking about
You
it.
have to do that.
Yep.
And guess what? Things will start to change when all of a sudden, like, oh shit,
I can go to jail for my son's activity.
I can go to jail if somebody can get my gun.
Yep.
Right? No more leaving the guns hanging up over the fireplace
Sure.
on the gun rack. Right? It's just the way it is. And until to Shayna's point, we stop passing the buck, right, to cover your ass. Guess what?
Yep.
And now all of a sudden, as a parent who has a gun, perhaps I go, I better rethink this.
It's something we talked about many episodes ago. There's a lot of different ways to have safety, but a gun safe is essential.
Yeah.
Essential in a gun purchase, unless I wouldn't even say unless, because me and Kiki, we both live alone. We don't have kids. We don't have people come over to our house. Still have a gun safe in my house. Everything's still locked up, and that's it. So
yeah, we are assuming that it was unlocked. We're not even doing that. No, he just had access to it. He found the key or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, maybe it wasn't a safe, but he had the combination. At the end of the day, he brought that damn thing into school and shouldn't have.
So Art says they need to find the bullies and make them liable for this tragedy. Says the guy who bullies people on Facebook.
Damn.
Oh. There's a shot. Hey, you can call in 815-496-0169.
I'm not answering your call.
Womp, womp, womp.
I'm just going to sit there and do that as well. So, he got you good. I'm just going to sit there.
I'm just going to say that.
Is it?
We'll lob that grenade out there.
Yeah, it was out there. Bullies, this is hard for me because I have to look at two sides of every story, Kent. I can't just focus on like it's the bully's problem.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, what's that bully's situation, right? Bullies aren't bullies because they wake up in the morning and like, hey, I'm the fucking bully. They wake up and be a bully because their life is in shambles.
Yeah.
They have broken families. They have no money. They're malnourished. They don't have, I mean, there's different types of bullies. There's the rich bully that also has mental issues, in my opinion, when it comes down to, mommy and daddy pay for everything, but they're never home. So I don't get the love and support that I need to. Obviously, the bully has something going on. So what we need to do is help the bullies and help the people that are being bullied as well. Hence, a fucking guidance counselor is what your job is to do. It's to know a certain select few students in your... So you have guidance counselors, right? We had 4 of them. And they had sections of them.
Yeah, Art, I care.
I was bullied in 7th grade, and it was miserable life. No one cared.
I care.
I care.
Art.
I'll give you a hug
when I
see you.
And I care for you.
I'll give you a hug when I see you in a couple hours.
This is bigger than a parenting issue. You should be shocked at how little help is available to parents. A little better if you have money. Yeah, no, and I agree. Right?
You can't pay for a psychologist if you can't afford it. Right? And I agree too. But there's public aid out there to help it. And the guidance counselor's job is to know the students and help place them forward in the community. I don't have kids, people, so I'm not trying to go on that thing. You have kids, so you can talk way more about this. How do you feel? Because I know how I was when my guidance counselor didn't give a shit about me. He pushed me along like the herd that I was going through school. I was a freaking number, and they didn't care about anything I did. And by the way, I had to stay an extra half a year in high school because they messed up my school schedule, and I missed a gym class, a gym curricular, and I couldn't graduate on time with the rest of my students or the rest of my,
So awkward.
It's so stupid, right?
Why were you in the locker room, though?
It was gym time. It was short day.
All right. So as a parent, and I have 3 kids who I've gotten successfully through public school.
Amazing kids.
And I've got one that's there. And here's what I know is when my kid starts stepping out, acting up or pushing back or doing weird things.
Yeah.
Things that I don't necessarily agree with. That tells me I haven't paid enough attention to my kids.
Sure.
Okay. So what do? Well, we get Cards of Humanity out, or we play some sort of game, or we get, we have a little bit of fun, or we watch a movie, or we just hang out with them.
Yeah.
My kids will tell you that I am the guy who goes, you need a hug.
Yep.
Shut up, Dad. No, you need a hug. Come here. Let's hug this out.
I'm going to hug you.
Right? And my kids hate it. And the interesting thing is that I don't blame anything on my children. They're my children.
Sure.
And if they start acting up, and this is and trust me, so we just had an incident with our youngest one at school.
Uh-oh.
And Alice got upset. I said, "Can't get upset at her. Let's take a look. Have we done this? Have we paid attention to her? Have we given her the love that she deserves?" Beautiful. And the bottom line that I had to answer, Alice may have. Bottom line I had to answer is, listen, I haven't. I've been busy. I've been running. I've been doing this. I've been going this. Yep. I haven't paid attention. She's asked, "Hey, let's play a couple of games," and I'm like, "No, not tonight."
Yep.
Right. So the pushback is they're really screaming for my attention and my love. So I had to say, slow down, Kent. Right? Yep. I mean, this is our 4th kid. You know how this works, and now you're pushing it off, right? So Kiki says, I was bullied too, so I farted in my husband's eye. It's not an excuse to be a sociopath.
Yeah, it is.
There's
a very big difference between being bullied and then going to pick up a firearm and planning on an execution and shooting people.
This is
a very big difference.
This is probably we want to go down that path with Lisa's Changing Perceptions on Sunday at 9 a.m.
Thanks,
9 to 10. Lisa can help you out with that, but there's probably I would tend to probably disagree with that, and so would my daughter, who's a clinical psychologist.
You're not qualified.
You don't. I'm not qualified. No, I'm not. So
I will listen to Lisa's show because I will actually pose that question so we can ask that. So it'd be good. That's a tangled up mind web that I don't necessarily want to debate here on the Gun Show. Right. Sure.
In the last 4 minutes, here's the thing is I think again is with the it's horrible.
Yep, absolutely.
With the Oxford mass shooting, though, we are now going back to the gun.
Of course.
We're not going back to the mental issues. We're not going back to the problems of the individual. We're not going back to the home life. We're not looking at the parents. What are we trying? What narrative are we trying to sell? And we're trying to sell, hey, Kyle Rittenhouse got through.
Yep.
And it didn't. No rioting, no looting, no nothing.
Nope.
Oh, the Georgia case, right, with Aubrey went the way it was supposed to. Very quiet. Again, no rioting, no looting. This isn't good. People are and we've got our good friend Alec out there walking around. Oh, but he didn't pull the trigger, and nobody's been arrested. There's nothing going on.
True.
So guns now are not being poo-pooed on.
Nope. The last thing I want to leave with all this that you just said, Kent. So we're focusing on guns, but yet somebody just drove through a Christmas parade and killed 6 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're trying everything to trigger and do whatever to make things happen. So I do have a statement that I need to make here too, real quick. So
please do.
Life's short, dude.
It is.
I definitely want to take this time to say I'm going to miss Uncle Pete. Okay? Yeah. Uncle Pete was truly not only a Second Amendment guru, somebody who I loved talking about guns with and had shared the same beliefs and changed my mind for a couple things around, different parts of that as well. Not only did he have the best voice.
Oh, silky smooth.
Silky smooth. Yeah. I'll never get over it. But he's just a fucking amazing person. Kind-hearted, always had great great things to do. Different.
He would want you to have this.
Oh man, that's fucking awesome. So Kent just handed me a book that says "How do you talk to your cat about gun safety?" That's fucking awesome.
He would want you to have that.
I definitely will do. I will definitely read this book.
You've got cats.
I do love cats. For those of you that don't know, my heart really.
His hair, right? Yeah, his hair was beautiful. The guy had such good flow all over.
God.
I'm growing the beard. I'm growing the beard for Uncle Pete.
Oh, nice. It looks good. It's coming in good. Yeah. My heart goes out to his wife and his family. Just know that Uncle Pete had a extremely positive impact on my life, and I know within the community he did as well too. I know this happened last.
And of course, if you want to help out the family, we've got a GoFundMe page out there. Go out to GoFundMe and just search Uncle Pete 216 the net. His wife is still in the hospital with the COVID pneumonia. His kids are just, as you can imagine, just unraveled and horrible, right? So, and we'll keep everybody posted with what we know when we know it. Sure. But I appreciate that. That means a lot. Yeah. So
gone. I hate it. Not cool.
Yeah, it is not good.
Nope.
The cool thing is, though, you can check him out on YouTube or every morning here until the end. Right? Every morning until the end of the year, you're going to have Uncle Pete in the morning replaying. So feel free to join him.
I listen to his voice all the time. He's sitting next to me all the time, dude. I'm not worried about it. He's doing great. So love you, Pete. Right. See you, buddy.
All right, then.
All right,
buddy.
All right,
Come get your boy.
Come get your boy. Light switch doesn't work.
That's right.
Thank you, guys. See you next episode.
Stop back in tomorrow morning, of course, at 6 a.m. We're going to be doing a replay of Mary Catherine's Power Hour playlist, followed by The Grounds with Giles and Jones, Bridging Civil Tension at 9 a.m. Then you're going to swing in for a little bit of the Success Journey podcast. 1 o'clock, the Neighborhood Pulse. 3 o'clock, In the Know with Steph and Joe. Packed Friday. We'll see you then.